Rafe Calderon pushed open the front door at 11 p.m., exhausted from another late shift at the construction site. The house was unusually quiet, but the dining room light glowed warm against the darkness. He found his wife, Ilara Wynne, sitting at the table, perfectly composed, her dark hair swept over one shoulder. Between them lay a manila folder. "You're late," she said, her tone conversational, almost pleasant. Traffic was hell. Rafe loosened his tie, heading for the kitchen. "Have you eaten?" "Sit down, Rafe." Something in her voice made him stop. He turned to find her sliding the folder across the polished wood, her red lips curved in a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "What's this?" "Divorce papers." She said it like she was ordering coffee. "I had my lawyer draw them up last week." The words hit him like a physical blow. "What?" Ilara leaned back, crossing her legs with practiced elegance. "I'm giving you a choice. Accept Jonah as part of my life, our lives, or sign these and we're done." Jonah Vale. The name alone made Rafe's jaw tighten. The marketing consultant who'd been orbiting Ilara for months, always texting, always finding excuses to stop by. Rafe had pushed down his suspicions, trusting his wife, believing her reassurances that Jonah was just a friend. "Accept him how?" Rafe's voice was dangerously quiet. "He makes me happy in ways you don't anymore." Ilara examined her manicured nails. "I'm not giving him up. But I'm not interested in sneaking around either. So you can stay and accept the new arrangement, or you can leave." Rafe stared at the woman he'd married 5 years ago, searching for some trace of the person he'd loved. "You're having an affair." "I'm being honest about my needs." Her smile widened. "Most women would just cheat behind your back. I'm giving you a choice." His hands clenched into fists. Every instinct screamed to flip the table, to rage, to demand answers. Instead, he picked up the folder with steady hands. "I need time to think." "You have until Friday." Ilara stood, smoothing her dress. "Jonah and I have plans this weekend. I'd like to know where we stand before then." She walked past him toward the bedroom, leaving Rafe alone with the papers and the wreckage of his marriage. Rafe didn't sleep that night. He sat in the guest room, staring at the divorce papers until the words blurred. By dawn, something had shifted inside him, not heartbreak, but clarity. If Ilara wanted honesty, he'd give her the truth she was too arrogant to see. He started with her phone records. They shared a family plan, and accessing the account showed him what he'd refused to acknowledge. Hundreds of texts to Jonah, calls lasting hours, patterns that matched every girls' night and late work meeting over the past 6 months. Next came the credit card statements. Charges at expensive restaurants Rafe had never been to. A boutique hotel downtown, booked twice in the last month on afternoons when Ilara claimed to be visiting her mother. The final piece was almost too easy. Ilara had grown careless, leaving her laptop open on the kitchen counter. Rafe found the email thread with Jonah, messages dripping with intimacy and contempt for the husband she called clueless and boring. One message made his blood run cold. "He actually believes we're just friends. God, men are so stupid. Once he signs the papers, we can finally stop pretending." So the ultimatum was theater. She'd already decided. The choice she offered was designed to humiliate him either way: stay and be disrespected, or leave and give her exactly what she wanted. Rafe printed everything. Emails, texts, hotel receipts. Then he made 3 calls, to a divorce attorney, to a locksmith, and to Ilara's parents. By Tuesday, he'd moved his essential belongings to a short-term rental. He changed the bank accounts, secured his assets, and prepared to flip the script on the woman who thought she held all the cards. Wednesday evening, he returned home to find Ilara in the kitchen, cooking dinner as if nothing had changed. She glanced up with that same infuriating smile. "Have you made your decision?" "I have." Rafe set his briefcase on the counter. "But first, I thought we should discuss your relationship with Jonah properly. As husband and wife." Ilara's smile faltered slightly. "What's there to discuss?" "Everything." He pulled out his phone, opening the folder of screenshots. "Starting with the afternoon you spent at the Grandview Hotel on September 15th. Your mother sends her regards, by the way. She was very interested to hear about your new relationship. The color drained from Ilara's face. Ilara's composure cracked like fine porcelain. You went through my phone? My emails. You handed me divorce papers and demanded I accept your affair. Rafe's voice was ice. Did you really think I'd just roll over? She slammed the spatula down, red flooding back into her cheeks. Those are private. So was our marriage. He scrolled through the screenshots slowly, deliberately. The Grandview Hotel, $280. Dinner at Marcello's, $315. That lingerie from Sophia's boutique, was that for Jonah or was I supposed to believe you wore that for me? Ilara's hands trembled. This wasn't how this was supposed to go. Rafe was meant to be devastated, compliant, maybe even grateful she was being honest with him. You had no right. I had every right. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed. I'm your husband. Those were marital funds you spent on hotel rooms with your lover. That's my name on the account you used to finance your betrayal. It's not betrayal if I told you the truth. You told me an ultimatum designed to humiliate me. Rafe's laugh was bitter. But you miscalculated, Ilara. You thought I'd either accept being disrespected or run away broken. You didn't consider that I might fight back. She tried a different approach, softening her voice, stepping closer. Rafe, please. We can work this out. Jonah doesn't have to. Don't. He held up a hand, stopping her. I read the emails. The ones where you called me stupid. Where you laughed about how easy I was to fool. Where you planned your future with Jonah before you even had the guts to ask for a divorce. Ilara's eyes widened. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. He pulled out the printed emails, dropping them on the counter between them. Your parents know everything. So does my attorney. The divorce will go forward, but not on your terms. My terms. Her voice rose. You're the one refusing to be reasonable. Reasonable. Rafe's control finally slipped, his voice turning hard. You cheated on me for months, spent our money on your affair, then had the audacity to demand I accept it with a smile. And I'm unreasonable. She reached for his arm. I still care about you. He pulled away like she'd burned him. No. You care about controlling this situation. You wanted your cake and to eat it too, a comfortable home, financial security, and Jonah on the side. That night, Ilara tried everything. She appeared in the bedroom doorway wearing the silk nightgown she knew Rafe loved, her hair loose around her shoulders. We don't have to do this, she whispered, stepping into the room. We were good together once. We could be again. Rafe was packing the last of his clothes. You're sleeping with another man. Only because you stopped seeing me. She moved closer, her perfume filling the space between them. You work all the time, Rafe. When was the last time you really looked at me? Touched me the way you used to? For a moment, he wavered. She was beautiful, and the memories of their early years together crashed over him. Lazy Sunday mornings, stolen kisses, the way she used to curl against him at night. Ilara saw the hesitation and pressed her advantage. Her fingers traced his jaw, tilted his face toward hers. I miss you, she breathed, and kissed him. It was familiar and foreign at once. Rafe's body responded even as his mind screamed warnings. His hands found her waist, pulled her closer. She melted against him, her fingers working the buttons of his shirt. They fell onto the bed together, months of distance collapsing into desperate contact. Ilara arched beneath him as he kissed her neck, her collarbone, lower. She whispered his name like a prayer, or maybe a plea. But when he closed his eyes, he saw the emails. Heard her voice calling him stupid, boring, clueless. Felt the ghost of Jonah's presence in every intimate gesture she'd once shared with him and now shared with another man. Rafe stopped, pulling back even as Ilara reached for him. What's wrong? Her voice was thick with desire and desperation. I can't. He stood, breathing hard, putting distance between them. I can't be with someone who doesn't respect me. I do respect you. No, you don't. He grabbed his jacket. You think I'm weak enough to forgive this because you're beautiful and we have history, but I'm worth more than being your backup plan. Ilara sat up, her nightgown slipping off one shoulder. Rafe, please. Sign the papers, Ilara. It's over. He walked out of the bedroom, out of the house, and didn't look back. Friday morning, Rafe met Ilara at the attorney's office. She looked smaller somehow, less polished than usual. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. Jonah wasn't with her. They sat across the conference table, lawyers flanking each side. The divorce papers Ilara had so confidently presented a week ago now worked against her. Her own attorney had to explain how adultery affected asset division in their state. My client is willing to accept a 60-40 split, Rafe's attorney began. That's ridiculous, Ilara's lawyer protested. The marital home alone was purchased with my client's VA loan and down payment. The attorney slid documents across the table. The account used to finance Mrs. Calderon's affair was joint marital funds. We have hotel receipts, restaurant charges, even the boutique lingerie purchased for her paramour. Ilara flinched at paramour. Where's Jonah? Rafe asked quietly. She didn't meet his eyes. We're taking some space. Rafe almost laughed. Let me guess. When you told him about the divorce, about losing the house and half your assets, suddenly he wasn't so interested anymore. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. Rafe leaned forward. You traded a husband who loved you for a man who loved what you could offer him. Now you have neither. Tears spilled down Ilara's cheeks, ruining her mascara. I made a mistake. You made a choice. He stood, signaling to his attorney. Sign the papers, Ilara. The ones you were so eager to present last week. Let's end this cleanly. 2 hours later, it was done. Rafe walked out of the office into bright sunshine, feeling lighter than he had in months. His phone buzzed, a text from his brother. Beer tonight? Absolutely, he typed back. Behind him, through the glass doors, he could see Ilara sitting alone in the conference room, staring at the signed papers. Part of him still remembered loving her. But that man was gone, replaced by someone who understood his own worth. Rafe Calderon got in his truck and drove toward his new life, leaving the wreckage of his marriage in the rearview mirror where it belonged.